right now on KCAL News at 10. The LAPD just issuing a citywide tactical alert.
Immigration protests continuing tonight after a day of ICE raids in LA. Police and riot gear moving in as protesters move around downtown LA.
And this was late this evening. Law enforcement firing tear gas at protesters outside the federal building. People in the crowd throwing that tear gas back.
The violence, the protests, the arrests, all triggered by widespread immigration raids across LA today.
We have team coverage beginning with Tom Waite tonight, who's live in downtown LA, where those protests escalated. Tom.
And Susie and Juan, it was an intense night, and it continues now. As you said, there is a citywide tactical alert, and that means that LAPD officers on shift cannot go home. Now, their tactics have been very effective where we are, not far, about a block away from the federal complex, the federal building complex where the detention center is. You can see this skirmish line of officers here right now. There's basically like just a handful of protesters still here, and police officers have been on the loudspeaker telling them over and over again, if they don't leave or if they come back, they will be arrested. This is just the remnants of what was a much larger crowd earlier, and you saw just a couple of clips there of just how intense and, violent things got when activists, some protesters, started throwing things and objects into the federal complex and at officers and agents there, and they responded with some intense force. Tensions explode downtown at the Federal Detention Center. A crowd of immigration rights activists attacked law enforcement guarding the detention facility. Chaos ensued.
Why would these people come over here and treat what we have over here in the United States of America than what it is that they have at home? They came over here illegally. They knew what it was. Los Angeles, especially downtown Los Angeles at this point, is a POS. It is hell over there. If there's anywhere in America that you want to go to where you really want to see what the pits of hell look like, and you want to smell some poop, and you want to have to step over it and look down every time that you walk, and then you want to see mindless zombies and people that don't even speak English existing, downtown Los Angeles looks like Mexico. It looked like certain parts of Mexico that you shouldn't go to. And people are over here protesting because they're deporting people that came over here illegally. I'm glad that we are finally enforcing the rule of law over here into the United States of America. And unfortunately, Los Angeles, who is operating at a $1 billion budget deficit, is at the crux of what's wrong of America. That is the blueprint of what's wrong with America. Now, let me reiterate, because I know that we out of election season, so you may not have heard me say this that recent, but I believe that it's cool to have people come over here legally, meaning that you go through the process. And yes, if we want to spend resources, then we need to be spending our resources, not giving it to illegal migrants, but to speeding up the process of these judges hearing deportation cases, of expediting the vetting of people that are coming over here legally so that they can be here. But it's disrespectful to them when people come over here illegally, take advantage of the American system. We have to use our taxpayer dollars while we over $37 trillion in debt. Now, of course, you're going to have people online crying, oh my God, I can't believe this. Look what's happening. The kids got to come out of school and go back to wherever it is that they came from. Yes, that's what happens when you do things that you're not supposed to do. And then you just act like nothing ever happened and you keep walking down the street like you was just doing it legally. That generally is how things play out. So what you see happening is the culmination of a lot of bad decisions over a long time. And we finally deciding that we want to fix America and get people out of here that is not here legally. So I don't really understand what the big deal is. I don't understand what the problem is.
It was a day of escalating anger in the Fashion District. This stunning scene, a military-style armored truck slowly rolling through.
Stay on the sidewalk.
Surrounded by masked agents, as the crowd surrounded the truck, tear gas was deployed. Our crew was in the middle of it. At a clothing business nearby, agents made arrests. 18-year-old Katia Garcia was trying to see if her father and uncle were swept up in the raid.
I was unexpected. We didn't know nothing. Like, they just called us. Like, I was at school and they called us and I had.
What you thought that they was gonna give you a warning? Y'all thought that like they was gonna be like, hey y'all, we about to conduct a raid tonight and we coming, so I'm giving you a heads up. What do you mean? What are they supposed to tell you? That's how raids work.
ICE says all told, 44 people were arrested. As the day wore on, immigration rights activists swarmed the front doors of the federal detention center downtown, where they believed the detainees were being held. One man was arrested. Outside the detention center, a teacher from East LA got emotional as she talked about seeing agents carrying out an ICE operation outside a Home Depot in the Westlake district.
This morning, I woke up early to get ready for my students' culmination.
I was wondering when they was gonna start hitting the Home Depots. If you go over to Chicago, they standing right outside waiting for you to come and pick them up to come and do some job and getting paid under the table.
Chiona, I'm sorry, y'all. It was supposed to be a good day. 3 blocks away, I saw day laborers running from our local Home Depot. I took off my heels, grabbed my megaphone, and ran in that direction. What I found devastated me. The food stands were empty. It was a ghost town.
As the evening wore on, activists got more confrontational, leading to this. And you are looking at live pictures once again of the skirmish line out here. The tensions have definitely come down. I mean, you can see there's really barely anyone out here. Many more police officers than there are people. And I'm coughing because on cue, really. I was just about to start talking about the pepper spray, the pepper bombs that they were using just outside of the federal detention complex, which I can see from where I'm standing, where all that stuff went down. We were right literally in the middle of it as things escalated. And at one point, we had to run inside the truck because it was overwhelming. The pepper spray and pepper bombs, a very effective deterrent in a very good way, clearly, to disperse the crowd. It's still lingering in my throat. It's not,
That's a wild thing to say.
Horribly painful, but it is definitely something that you can feel. And we were in there for some time until LAPD came in and forced everyone out of the area, kind of forming these skirmish lines. And they've actually, let's pan over here, Andre. We have another group of officers coming down the street. I don't know if there are any protesters over there, but it does look like perhaps maybe that there's some other people in the it looks like a parking lot. It's kind of hard to tell. There's so many bright police lights here. Perhaps that they're mobilizing to go to another area. We did hear that there was other activity going on in other parts of.
The problem also, let me just say this. The problem with this is that these sanctuary cities like Los Angeles, they should be helping immigration and ICE and working along with them, not in opposition. So the only thing that they're trying to do is keep the peace and not, disrupt things or trying to get the crowd dispersed while they're getting their ass kicked, while ICE is doing the heavy lifting and the deportation and stuff like that. So, with our law enforcement's hands tied, they don't really get to, fix the situation or help solve for it. And that's why you see people feeling compelled to be able to throw the pepper spray back, that they feel like they can assault a police officer, that they running around out here doing stuff that they're not supposed to do. But Trump has given people ample time to self-deport, to get their affairs in order. Y'all knew that when he became president of the United States of America, that this is what was going to play out. And so now everybody is acting like it's inhumane to remove people or to arrest people when they're doing something they're not supposed to do. This has been going on in a lot of other communities for a long time. I don't know why y'all acting like y'all all scared now. Everybody is concerned now. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I will be covering this throughout the day, so you may see multiple videos on this, because the next video I want to be, I think I'm going to upload the mayor's response to this, Karen Bass, who has done a horrible job in Los Angeles. But stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.